With the college football playoffs just now starting, I'm going to be predicting who I think is going to win the national championship. Starting off with the 10th seeded Indiana Hoosiers taking on the 7th seeded Notre Dame Fighting Irish. In this matchup, I think I haven't really been impressed with Notre Dame's game. While the Indiana Hoosiers, they've been electric at times, and for the Battle of Indiana, I think the Indiana Hoosiers are going to get the win over Notre Dame. The next matchup up is between SMU versus Penn State. Penn State is currently ranked 6th seed, while SMU is the 11th seed. In my opinion, I think SMU's been good, but it's hard to beat Penn State whenever they're going to be doing a whiteout game. So I think the environment's going to be too much for SMU to get the win, and I think Penn State will advance to the next round. Just a little bit of clarification, the numbers I have in all these designs, they're related to the team based off their ranking on the National League. Okay, it's not their playoff seeding, it's just where they were ranked at the end of the season. Their seeding I will explain whenever I talk about the two teams. Now, getting into our next matchup, we have the 3rd ranked in the whole nation, Texas Longhorns, taking on the 16th ranked Clemson Tigers. For me, this is an easy decision. The Texas Longhorns have been a very dominant team throughout the whole season. And on top of that, Clemson just isn't that great. They're ranked 16th and we're lucky enough to make the playoff spot. And Texas, yeah, they have Quinn Ewers who hasn't been doing the best lately. You're going to definitely have to utilize Arch Manning in the future. But I think for this game, you're going to do just fine with Quinn Ewers, and I think you guys are going to move on. And for our last matchup, it's going to be between the 6th ranked Ohio State taking on the 7th ranked Tennessee. And I think this is also a weird decision because Ryan Day, who coaches the Ohio State Buckeyes, his job is on the line. And so everyone thinks he's going to have to do the greatest season we've seen where he's going to have to win the whole national championship or make it to the final game and then lose if he wants to keep his job. I disagree. I think he's going to get fired right away because I think they're going to lose to the Tennessee team, and that's who I got advancing. Now, with the first round of all the playoffs being over, it's time to get into our next round. Starting off with Tennessee, after coming off against a win against Ohio State, they will be playing the number 1 team in the nation, Oregon. And again, this is kind of easy. Based off how Oregon's been playing, I think this should be no problem for them, and I have Oregon advancing. In the next matchup, it is Texas versus Arizona State University. Arizona was lucky enough to win the conference Big 12, and that's why there's such a high seeding over Texas. But I don't think it matters either. I think Texas is still going to manage to get the win anyways. Yeah, Arizona State has that Cam Scatabo at running back, but I don't really think he's going to influence the outcome of this game as much as they probably think he will. And I think Texas will win. Maybe Quinn Ewers will struggle a bit, and maybe they're going to have to start utilizing Arch Manning in this game, but either way, they still win. Next up is Penn State taking on Boise State. Boise State had a great season because of Ashton Jeanty alone, but this might come as a surprise to people, and this might be the upset of the whole video. I have Penn State defeating Boise State. I think Boise State's going to have to get humbled real quick and have to face the realization that, yeah, you have Ashton Jeanty, and yeah, you only lost 1 game your whole season. But guess what? Your schedule was weak, and you only played Oregon, and that was the 1 loss you had. Yeah, Ashton Jeanty put up a good game, but I think they're going to realize in this game that, like, yo, your schedule actually was just easy the whole time. You're going to get brought down to earth a bit. And I have Penn State advancing. Maybe that's an upset to people. Maybe not. But that's who I got. And I also forgot. If Boise State loses this game, which I think they will, that means Ashton Jeanty will not break Barry Sanders' record and will just get looked at again as another repeated running back season that was really good. And this will prove why Travis Hunter won the Heisman over him. And the last matchup in the second round is the Georgia Bulldogs, who are ranked number 2 in the playoffs and in the nation, are taking on the Indiana Hoosiers. I think this is very simple again. Give me Georgia. I think they're still a good team. Yes, Carson Beck got hurt, and he will be out, I believe, this game. I don't know. I don't know if that's enough weeks for him to get healthy. But either way, I think Georgia's going to do just fine. Indiana, I think, was lucky enough to beat Notre Dame that I think Georgia's just going to, like, demolish them, probably. And I got Georgia moving on. Now, with the second round out of the way, it's just down to 2 more matchups before the national championship game itself. And I think it's going to be pretty easy between the two winners of these matchups, and I think it's going to be a pretty simple national championship game, so let's break it down. Now, when I said easy, I meant for one matchup. This matchup is not that one, by all means. It is Texas versus Oregon, the two most powerful teams in college football, I think, going at each other, trying to get to the national championship. I think Oregon, this is the year they've really wanted it. They've been solid every single year, but they just can't win the national championship. So, I don't know. They have a lot to fight for, but so does Texas. I think Texas, they want it, man. They want it more than anything ever, and I think Texas will win. I think it's going to be a great match. I think very high scoring, and I think Texas is going to move on. But in this game, I will say, I think Arch Manning's going to start in this game over Quinn Ewers. I think Quinn is still good, but I think they're going to want to mix up the whole scheme for the game and make Oregon have to prepare for a different quarterback. And I think they're going to have to utilize Arch Manning so much in this game over Quinn Ewers. And I think Arch Manning will get it done in his game. I think he's going to be able to lead this Texas team to a dominant win and lead his team to the national championship. When I said this matchup would be easy, I meant this game in particular. Georgia versus Penn State. Carson Beck, injured or not, I think they're going to win. Pretty much as simple as that. But to get into further detail, I guess just Georgia's the better team. Penn State is lucky to still be in this position because all of those matchups, whether it's between SMU or Boise State, they could realistically lose. So here, I think it's a no-brainer that Georgia will win, and I think Georgia's going to make it to another national championship game. Now, with this being it comes down to final two teams, the Texas Longhorns and the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia has seen so many national championships in this most recent couple of years. They've been one of the best teams very consistently every single year. And they're just an all-around good team. And on top of that, the national championship game is in Atlanta, Georgia. So all things are favored towards Georgia in this. But something tells me, maybe this will be my downfall saying this. Maybe Texas will win. And I think Texas will win. You got Arch Manning and Quinn Ewers, who will still be good. I think Quinn Ewers, they're going to have to swap between the two during the game, just to mix it up a bit and be more electric. I think they're still a great team. They have great players. And Arch Manning, I think Quinn Ewers will help them in this game, but I think Arch Manning will solidify why he is the future of college football and the future of football. And I think he's going to be the main reason Texas defeats Georgia. And I have the Texas Longhorns winning the national championship. Yes, I do believe the Texas Longhorns will get the win over Georgia, and they will add a national championship to their whole trophy case. I think they've just proved time and time again this season that they're a very dominant team. Quinn Ewers went into the season as the Heisman favorite. He got hurt, and he was never the same. But luckily, their backup quarterback was Arch Manning, and who would have thought, well, I guess everyone would have thought, considering he's the son of Peyton Manning, that he'd be amazing. He's basically Peyton Manning, but with mobility as a quarterback. And those two combined with Quinn Ewers and Arch, they're a dangerous duo, especially with a team that as strong as Texas. I think they're going to prove why they are the best team in college football, and I think they're going to win the national championship. Yes, I do believe that. That's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I have Texas winning the national championship. I really do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like if you really enjoyed it. Comment what kind of videos you want to see next from me in the future, and subscribe so you can see more content like this on the way. I really do hope you appreciated the video, enjoyed it, and you can watch this while you watch along to the college football playoffs. So, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.